Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Pro Dota Commentary done by Luminous. This is Team Empire on one side and Navi on the other. This replay is rated very, very highly, and I got it thanks to a couple of people that actually suggest this replay to me. If you guys don't know, a good place to suggest me replay is Lumi's suggestion box, which is a link on Facebook.com. It's on the description box below too if you want to check it out. That's a place if you saw a very, very good live game, you put the team names there, you put the tournament name there, and then I'll download the replay and I'll cast you the game. This one, again, suggested by multiple people, so it should be very, very good game. And of course, Team Empire and Team Navi, these two teams go way, way back. They have a long history against each other in the recent months, and they always perform very spectacularly. Personally, I love these two teams when they face up against each other because the games generally tend out to be very, very aggressive. Lately, if you watch a lot of the Western teams, whether it's European, whether it's North American, the games are a little bit more stale. You know, it's a lot more calculated, it's a lot more moving around, it's a lot more split pushing and farming, which, you know, I'm a big fan of farming games, I'm a big fan of good movement, but ironically, lately the Chinese teams are just so aggressive, you know, just diving past tower, getting kills, and I kind of want to cast games like that. It's just a lot more exciting to cast and a lot more exciting to watch. And this is gonna be a game like that. I imagine Team Empire and Team Navi, both these teams are just very, very aggressive. And look at these aggressive heroes, right? Puck, Undying, Bane Elemental could be pretty aggressive as well. And then on the other side, we have Nature's Prophet, Gyrocopter, and Lifestealer. These are heroes that could get things going very, very early and very, very quickly. Also, I love these two teams because sometimes, once in a while, you have teams picking up some interesting heroes and making it work. You can see the Axe ban. I'm not too sure what that's about. Maybe Navi's been using Axe. I haven't been following Navi for quite a bit, so I'm not sure what they're picking up lately. But Team Vampire is dealing with the Axe, so they're going to be banning that one out. And we're going to see LuminousInverse, so that's a hero that I haven't seen in a pro game for a while. It's going to be very, very nice to see her. Also, of course, if you guys don't remember, Bane wasn't a hero that was picked too often. Back 6-7 months ago, Team Empire, I believe, was one of the first team to really pioneer this hero, if you will, to bring him to the competitive scene and really show why he's just a juggernaut in terms of a trial capability. And in this particular game, we're going to see the Keeper Light, Bane Elemental, plus the Undying trialing. It is just going to be absolutely bonkers. Nightmare, I personally used to think that Bane is just a horrible trialing hero because his spells are very, very mana intensive, so you can't be spamming it multiple times. And his spells are single targeted, which, you know, it's like, hey, trialing, you want to hit as many heroes as possible. Single target spells are not designed to do that. But in what really turned out to be is that Bane Elemental is so good, locking down a particular hero down with Nightmare, Illuminate comes in, Undying charges in with Decay and Tombstone and whatnot, and suddenly you're facing down against a lot of firepower if you're on the side of Navi. But Navi does have pretty tanky heroes. They're going to be working with a Lifestealer, a Lina, as well as a Jakiro trialing. So both trialing is going to be looking rather powerful. My question is, will the two trialings meet up in a trialing versus trialing, which is going to be very, very interesting to watch, or will the two trialings dodge against each other? I'm going to be hoping for the former, but you'll have to wait and see to how that comes out. Scandal is going to be going up on the mid lane against with his Puck, excuse me. His Puck is just awesome to watch. We have Empire Summertime going to be handling the Kling. Skoblack's going to be playing the Undying. We have SS Heart Mila on the Keeper of Light, and finally Blow Your Brain on the Bane Elemental. Me on the dire side, Navi. Puppy's going to be charging down here with Lina. We have AA on the Jakiro. You only live once. That's YOLO, for anybody who don't know. It's going to be playing the Lifestealer, Havos, I believe. Light of Heaven's going to be handling the Nature's Prophet. And then Dendi, last but not least, this is going to be playing the Gyrocopter. Is it Gyrocopter or Gyrocopter? People keep saying one or the other. I'm not sure myself. I'll just call him Gyro for this particular game. Two teams have seen each other. And in terms of analyzing the level 1 capability of the two teams, it depends on how many people that the Decay hits. If, let's say, Undying gets a 4-man Decay, well, I do believe Radiant has won that fight. Because when you get a 4-man Decay, you are not killing that Undying. And that Undying's doing all sorts of physical right hit against you. And both teams just very tentative, walking back and forth. And there is a Observer Orb being placed down here, not only blocking the camp, but giving them that particular sight in this area for this kind of early game. clash. It looks like Klings has really pulled up the wazoo. He bought his own Wraith Band, he bought 2 GG branches, and his teammates pulling him a Tango and a Salve. So whoever he's going to be facing up against is going to have a rather tough time, unless it's a Triling, right? The Triling really doesn't care if you have a little bit extra pull. And it looks like when we might see Summertime going to receive a little bit of help from Keeper as well as Undying. This is going to be a Klings Triling? I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. No, it is going to be the case here. Blow Your Brain's going to be going up top on solo. I don't imagine this is how Empire drafted up the lane early on. I guess it's just how it ended up to be, given the fact that they saw the Triling here. I will say he's going to miss here from Puppey. Not the biggest loss here. That mana will be passively regenerating quite a bit. But Summertime doing quite a bit of harass here, as well as Illuminate harass. So this particular, it's not exactly the most textbook Tri-lane, but it's going to get his job done here, at least for now. Back on the top lane here, Blower Brain's going to handle against Light of Heaven. Blower Brain's going to have the advantage here. If you've never seen a Bane Elemental solo, well, I trust me, that Bane guy is coming very soon. In that particular guide, I made a 30-second section about solo Bane Elemental. He's a very powerful solo if you put 2 points into your Enfeeble, which basically means the enemy that you're soloing against will have literally 0 damage. So when they have working with 0 damage, last hitting and denying makes it's becoming a little bit difficult. Now I have no idea whether this Bane's going to do that, because Enfeeble at level 2 and 3 is cute and all, but you're not going to be too effective in the early game engagement. So we'll see if that's going to be what he's actually going to go up for. 2 exchanges of nukes here between Empire Go Black and Navi Puppey, but nothing to really write home about. Back in the mid lane, I saw Scandal's HP dropping very much so. But Scandal's one of the best puck players in the world, in my opinion. And he's going to be going up against Gyrocopter in the mid lane. I want to say this favors Puck a little bit, but Dendi is a very powerful mid solo. You can see actually he's going into flat cannon. We see more and more of this particular kill going for the flat cannon max. And the mid lane's not too bad, because you can actually last hit and harass at the same time, or deny and harass at the same time, which is probably a very unique ability. And also gives Gyrocopter a little bit of way to combat against Puck in terms of pushing that creep equilibrium. As you know, that mid lane's a lot of times about pushing that creep equilibrium, especially before the rune spawns and whatnot. Particularly because both tri-lanes is the bot lane. Let's say if the rune spawns on top, for example, whoever has a better creep equilibrium will be able to get that rune. Navi's going to eat a nuke to the face, but still using that flat cannon. Looks like he's going to charge right in second level into Rocket Barrage. Something that we don't see too often. Scando just drops down to 1 more hit. Navi not going to die for that one here, and Scando will be dropping, or which Dendi... not going to get hit by a very good job. He's going to be going for the bottle crawling. Yes, he will. Where's the rune? He's not even going to check for it as a bot. Looks like it has been taken up already. So, looks like he's just want to sit in the mid lane and make sure that Scando is not going to get as much farm as possible. So, I doubt that Pug's going to have the advantage, but seems like Pug really need to bottle crawling, and he's staying out of EXP range at this point. Looks like Jakiro has secured that illusion rune on the bot lane. But speaking of this bot lane, it's actually very difficult for them to actually get a kill on Empire, right? Empire, basically they're going to have Summertime in the front line. And if he ever gets in trouble, he's going to just go into Windwalk. And of course, Go Black, you can't really go on him as these two tray for another nuke, as he is very tanky. You see that Soul Rip is going to be his second choice. And obviously, SS is going to be staying very far back, so he shouldn't be in trouble as well. So it's going to be up to Navi to actually get that opening to get the kill. But they are not facing too much pressure to actually get that kill, considering the fact that the pull cam is warded off, so the Radiant isn't actually getting that much EXP either. But Klinks is leading in terms of CS though in this particular lane matchup here, and Hovos gotta really pick it up in terms of his CSing ability. Back in the mid lane though, you can see that Puck as well as Gyrocopter is really just trading hits. His Sango already uses escape spell as well as his phase. It's gonna take a lot more damage from Dendi, and Dendi's spells are a lot more spammable than Puck, so Puck's just having a tough time here, and looks like Dendi's gonna gap himself a double damage rune as well. Double damage plus flat cannon is pretty much no joke, so you gotta be extremely careful. Where yeah, back on the top lane here, Blower Brain is gonna be going for the brain, very standard brain stat build. He's having a very tough time against Light of Heaven's Tree and Harass, if you would if you could call it harass, just sending a whole bunch of tree into your face. We're going to see Lina roaming on the mid lane as well. Scando has walked all the way back here, and then he has somehow won that particular mid lane. Of course, that double damage, very helpful in doing so. And using that flat cannon plus a double damage combo, just annihilating that entire creep wave and just doing a lot of damage to that tower. This is one of the best ways to punish an enemy hero when they're leaving the mid lane, either to go for the rune or go for a gank, or better yet, killing him and sending him back to the bait. Is the fact that, hey, you could do some damage to that tower, and if you ever could knock down that mid tower, is such a big win for your team. And you can see that Puppy's being extremely patient, trying to get a kill against Scandal. This is one of the more difficult hero to kill, simply for the fact that he has the orb as well as Phase. Although the orb's going to be in cooldown for a couple seconds here, and the question is, when is Linus going to come in? I don't think he's going to get that kill, really. But they're going to try, and I imagine that Scandal should realize that, hey, Puppy's been missing on the bot lane for a long time. The orb has been used, and Puppy is going to hit another LSA here. Scandal does have another phase. A call down is going to get phased. Nicely done. Scandal just dodges that one. Look at how much resource that Puppy has used. All his HP and is gone, and of course he is going all the way back to base to regen his mana and HP as well, and more importantly, he's wasted a lot of time on that particular bot lane, in which case it was a 3v2 situation where Empire could get a lot more farm in that particular lane. So looking pretty good so far, despite the fact that Scandal having a little bit of rough time as the two just keep on exchanging nukes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Once Puck hits level 6 though, you gotta be somewhat careful if you're Dendi, because the killing ability of Puck should not be underestimated. Oh, but look at that lucky regen rune gets picked up here. Back on the top lane, I do believe Light of Heaven was forced to teleport back. But here comes Dendi. If he sees Blower Brain, Blower Brain might be dead. Blower Brain does not suspect anything at all, and he pauses right there. Wow. That's unfortunate. We're gonna speed it up here as we see Blower Brain gonna eat a rocket as well, but there's gonna be a Nightmare. Nightmare is gonna hit, a teleportation's gonna come in, and that's gonna be from the Puck. The Puck's gonna drop his orb. Puppy takes the orb, and Puppy's gonna be dead. Well, he does save Dendi. But at the exchange of giving Scandal a first blood, which is not a player you want to give that FP to, then they did a very good job controlling that lane. But right now the two is completely even after that exchange. In fact, if you want to look at the CS, Puck is only 3 CS behind, and the fact that he's got that first blood, he's completely caught up, if not even leading at this point now. Back on the bot lane here, Summer is going to be farming 34 to Lifestealer's 11. So that's the issue of trialing versus trialing when true trialings are not killing each other. Back on the top lane here, looks like they're going to try to get a kill against Blower Brain. Blower Brain is going to be completely fine. He's going to be Nightmare next it. He could Nightmare and block it, or he's going to try to run it away. Bam! He took a lot of damage to the face though. As you know, that rocket will do more damage the further you run away. Yeah, Havos is really in trouble here. Is he going to... Look pretty close. If he got hit by the orb, he probably might have died. Puck could have just came in here and right-clicked him a couple more times. Although that would have been pretty aggressive. Then going back in the mid lane here, I wonder what item he's going to be going for. Still bottle crawling non-stop. I imagine the most standard item choice is going to be a face boot, and then we're going to see a standard Lothar's or Shadow Blade afterwards. Although you could never say in a game like this. Looks like Light of Heaven's going to be going for a very standard Midas build. We haven't seen Nature's Prophet too. I mean, he's coming in and out of the scene, but Nature's Prophet as a hero is a hero that gets started very slowly. So a Hand of Midas is very key in terms of him catching that EXP, but more importantly getting that gold for the early mech or the early Scythe of Ice or whatever early item that he's going for. He gets started very slowly, but like I said, once you get level 11, he really ramps up, and he could be a kind of an unsuspecting late game semi carry if your team needs one. And in this particular game, I don't think Navi needs it because they have both Lifestealer as well as Dendi on Gyrocopter. But you never know, because Havos right now is not farming well at all. So maybe they will need that secondary semi-carry if whatnot. Lifestealer is looking for that level 5. So odd that we see a Lifestealer this slow. Oh, it looks like he's popped that Rage immediately, respecting the nuking power Bane Elemental. But Bane could have just gripped him right then and there, but he really didn't know who else was behind Havos. Doesn't really want to use that ultimate kind of needlessly like that. Very interesting to see that Blower Brain is not picking up a Smoke of the Sea. I guess he just want to chill on the top lane, because Smoke of the Sea is actually a very powerful ganking item for Bane Elemental. You really need that extra range and speed bonus to run in and get that grip off. And whenever you get a grip off, that should be a free kill, an insta kill. With that said though, he does have that teleport scroll. Bane Elemental is one of the best counter gankers in the entire game. And if you ever see Navi tower diving past any of the exterior tower, Blower Brain will be TPing in immediately, and that explains why Navi's not playing as aggressive as they usually are, and ours are got Arsa's trying to hide right here, and I believe Puppy's LSA are just on point this game, but unfortunately though, Blower Brain's gonna use that Brain Sap, and they're gonna get a kill on AA very easily. The call down is going to be dropped on Blower Brain, taking some damage. The Rocket's going to come in here as well. Dendi doesn't have that flat cannon. Looks like Empire Gold Black in huge trouble. He's going to work on the Golem here. And, but the Brain Sap, oh no, seems to be the Fiends group against Dendi. Dendi's going to go down. Look at how much damage Blower Brain has done. Scando's going to be trying to fight his way out here. Scando does have one more orb. He's going to be firing it. Looks like the fire orb has been dodged. Rage here dodging the Illuminate. Silence here. Scando has face in one more second. Not going to get off. Navi barely lives with the help of Puppy. Man, Puppy did so much work in that exchange. The LSA, Light Strike Array, just hitting time and time after again. I think he missed one LSA in the entire game so far, which is something that you could be extremely proud of if you're playing Lina. Of course, very unfortunate for Dendi. He dove past in between these two guys. Stop inviting me to... Sorry, Merlot, I'm casting right now. But he dove past kind of everybody to go for that kill. And the double damage on the double damage on the Tombstone was the absolutely correct thing to do, right? You have flat cannon up, so you focus on the thing that you want to kill most, and then you let your flat cannon 1000 range to take care of everything else. But Blower Brain really conserving his HP with the help of Brain Sap, and then the fact that you heal. The thing about Bane Elemental is that he's very deceptively tanky. You think he's a frail, intelligent hero, but when he's brain sapping you, when he's gripping you like that, he does a lot of work. So the fact that he survived for that long was a testament of what this hero can do, but more importantly, showing off what this hero can do with a lot of EXP. If you're, support Bane level 4, 12 minutes in, you're not going to have that kind of impact. Back in the middle here, we're going to see Dream Cold right on Dendi. Dendi, looks like he did not get hit by that Illuminate. Without getting hit by Illuminate, Scando's got to be the one on the run with the haste rune, though. He is going to be running out there just fine here. Dendi hasn't actually been hitting a lot of his call down, which is, to be fair, a very, very difficult spell to hit. Looks like there's a smoke right behind. They want to kill on Summertime. Summertime, Ice Path, LSA. Both of us going to hit. Not exactly the best chain stun. Laguna Blade as well as Dragon Slave. Not exactly the best chain stun. They even dropped a Sentry War for that. I'm not sure who got the tower, though. Tower structure. Klings even got the last one on the tower. So a big, big win here for Empire. Looks like Summertime's going to be able to eat a big creep in the jungle as well. I mean, Summertime's been farm. He's leading the chart in terms of farm right now, working towards that Orchid, just passing Elite Gold. And once you get that Orchid finish, heroes such as, Lifestealer, Lina, Gyro, everybody on the Navi squad got to be extremely, extremely careful about that Klings. And the reason I say even Lifestealer, despite him being a strength hero that is normally very, very tanky, a lot of his survivability comes in the fact that he has Rage, and comes in from the fact that he has Infest. Well, if you silence him, he's pretty much dead. So one of the big thing in the current metagame is that getting Orchid heroes to counter heroes like Lifestealer, preventing him to use his defensive abilities here. You can see that Net Worth rise here. We do see Klings just really leading the chart. Of course, much thanks to that tower that he got on the last on the bot lane. Back in the mid lane here, Navi's going to be trying to pressure this tower. I do believe this tower is going to get knocked down. Although we do see SS coming in here. They're going to glyph right now. A teleportation is going to come here from the Bane. And it looks like they might be actually able to defend here. The Treant's already working in tower already in deny range. I think the Empire is going to get a tower deny as well. Very, very powerful rotation. Saving that glyph, immediate TP, and of course SS in position. That looked pretty grim. But SS being able to really control this mid game, and look at this D-ward up on the mid lane immediately. During nighttime, this area of the map is a huge, huge factor in terms of warding and de-warding. And making sure that the enemy does not see you on the side of the hill is key. And you can see that both teams are warding in these particular junctions of the map. This one just timed out. And also this one giving a little bit of sight advantage on the mid lane here. Ooh, where did that kill happen? I guess he was trying... sorry, I did not catch that one. I did not expect him to kind of backstab in that area of the map. It looks like he was perhaps a little bit too confident and got picked off. And that kill was pretty huge. It's going to slow down his Orchid at least for a minute or two or so. And that could be very, very key in terms of making sure your squishy supports, such as that Lina, is going to survive. And look at, again, very, very key point to D-ward in the mid lane. And they're going to... Oh! I guess he was lacking on the uphill vision, so Puppy went back here to give the uphill vision here, and they were able to pick that ward off, so very good job. Puppy, or excuse me, Dendi on the bot lane still farming it up here. It is going to be a very standard Lodar's build or Shadow Blade build, but you can see that his farm is very, very much so slow down. 70 CS here for 14 minutes, which is not bad by any means. You got to keep in mind that he has flat cannon, so, and he's max flat cannon first, so he should be farming a lot better. And this is Dendi, so I expect him to farm better. It looks like Dendi's going to TP out, but he's going to eat 2 shots to the face before doing so. So I do believe Blower Brain is going to realize what's happening here. Blower Brain is going to be going for a mech build here, which is something that we don't see too often on Bane, because Bane is already extremely stretched for mana as it is. But, you know, hey, if you're the one that's getting the farm, you're the one that need to get the mech for your team. So you see that he's dropping Enfeeble. He's leveling up Enfeeble, which in my opinion is a very, very key ability to level up in this particular game. You're going to be facing him against a lot of physical right clicks from the Gyrocopter, from the Life Stealer, as well as from, eventually, from the Nature's Prophet. And the ability to shut them down like this is key. Now you might be saying, well, doesn't Rage kind of debuff Enfeeble? No, it does not. If you Enfeeble on Life Stealer, he tries to Rage, the Enfeeble debuff will still stay on them. And minus 120 damage is absolutely bonkers against a melee hero such as Life Stealer. It basically turns them to a useless hero. Also, of course, against Gyrocopter when he's using flat cannon to do an AoE amount of damage, well, if you minus 120 damage on Dendi, he's not going to do too much either. So the fact that Blower Brain getting a lot of EXP and not getting too punished for it, he's 0, 1, and 3, which is not a bad score to say, especially when you're soloing the top lane. You're actually doing very, very well. So in my opinion here, the MP for Empire's got to be Bane Elemental. Obviously though, Bonklings, he's going to be doing a lot of work. Once he, look at that, once he has the Orchid finish, he's just constantly roaming the map. And here's lone heroes like Puppies got to just back off. I do believe I said Dendi, yeah, Dendi and Hovos is infested together, and looks like they're going to be ganking. Look at this gank combo though. Shadow Blade plus the Nyx Bomb is going to be absolutely key, but looks like Scandal also picked up the Blink Dagger, so both teams really picking up some key team fight items. The mech is the key one though. I believe that with the mech, they will be able to actually, do for something big, and it looks like they're going to smoke up top and contest for this tier 1 tower. But with that said, that's double Shadow Blade. I thought it's going to be a Hanamidas into a mech, which is a lot more standard of a build. And I think this is something very, very greedy that the Dire team is doing right now. Oh, it looks like they're going to run into Navi YOLO. And I don't think they know. It looks like, maybe he does. They're gonna open it up with the silence. That's the ability they want to have first. Blower Brain perhaps a little bit too slow. Blink Dream Core silence. Look at that chain stuns, whatever you call it. Immediate kill being taken up here. It looks like Dendi's gonna TP in, but he's gonna get grip. Where's the Centaur? It's gonna get dropped immediately. Dendi's gonna go down. Perfect chain stun for Team Empire. 4-man Ice Fire from Arzar, but Arzar's gotta fight everybody, and he cannot. Tombstone really gonna secure them the kill, and the mech, more importantly, healing everybody back up here. Empire sees this a huge win here as they pick off 2 carries. Support a tier 1 tower, and more importantly, they're going to TP back and start farming away. You can see the creep equilibrium is going towards Navi's tower. So not only did going towards Empire's tower, not only did Navi lose a couple of heroes, they're going to lose a lot more farm as well, because they have nowhere to farm. The only place they could go back to farm right now is the jungle, whereas Empire really seizing a good time to do that smoke gang. After getting a very successful smoke gang, they're going to come back and start farming their graves as well. So very, very huge win for Empire in that instance. And you can see that gold chart is going to be swinging up to the about 5,000 mark here. Summertime was about to get to the double jam rune, but Blower Brain says like, nope, I'm gonna get that DD. And they see Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven does have that Lothar's. The question is, do they have detection? And I don't think they do. Maybe he has some dust. No, they don't. But look at the goal here for Klings. Klings already up to 2k, and he's just roaming all over the map here right now to look for kills, he sees Arzard. Arzard is in huge trouble, but looks like he's gonna back off. Empire Summertime not gonna go for the kill. He did have the Death Pack buff on him, so I'm very surprised to see him not going for it. Meanwhile, here looks like we're gonna see a little bit push going on the bot lane. Double Shadow Blade here. But looks like Blower Brain with a double damage. He is going to find Navi immediate Lodars, and he is going to be fine. But meanwhile, though, Dendi's going to TP out. Whew, that was close. These trees giving that extra cloak in the shadow, if you will, for him. Meanwhile, I haven't checked out how Goldblack's been doing. Goldblack's been very, very poor. As you imagine him to be so, he's been buying wars. He's been really roaming around, making sure that his teammates is getting farm. And when you're playing a role like that, you are going to be poor. So no shame in doing that. Looks like we are going to have a gem of true sight here from Summertime. I love this early item gem purchase. Yeah, you know, if you're going to die, you're going to give that gem. But the reward of, you know, dewarding kind of miser sentries like this is just a lot more important. And catching off people with Shadow Blade, because there is 2 Shadow Blade on the team, that's going to be more important as well. And it looks like Light of Heaven is going to be the first victim. He's wasting a lot of time walking back and forth. Your Light of Heaven is going to juke into Shadow. One thing that Shadow Blade does actually give you is extra MS, and the extra MS is going to be very, very key. Light of Heaven survives with about 50 HP, and he's thanking his lucky stars for that. Summertime, though, is going to eat the rocket to the face, but he's going to farm this way, or at least try to defend that tower. Teleportation is going to come in here. Puppy trying to knock down that tower. He's got to be very, very careful where he's treading. Meanwhile, though, the Navi team is behind. Another rocket's going to hit on... Oh, looks like the glyph is going to get popped here. And then Tower's going to get denied one more time. Scano's going to eat the rocket to the face. Tower's going to get denied. Look at how well Empire's playing right now. The nuke is going to come in here for Arzar. He's going to come in. No, he's going to try to face back and forth. The call down here. Summertime's going to be on the run. Slow here. Oh, the Tombstone's on top. Ice Path on couple. Worsted Blind. Look at the huge Illumina. He's going to get 1 kill. Meeting Globlock's going to take a lot of damage. Dandy's going to go down as well. 2 kill going for Empire. Empire's on the run here. Empire, no chasing. Looks like another kill being picked up as well. Navi loses yet another huge fight, and I do believe that tier 1 is also going to go down. Looks like the urn got cancelled by the Treens. Not the biggest loss here for Empire, as the gold chart is going to be swinging upwards more and more and more. Who did they lose? I think they lost Undying. That's it. So Undying running in, dropping Tombstone, and of course that Illuminate just doing all sorts of damage. I didn't see who Blow Your Brain used the grip for. I imagine it's either going to be on the Life Stealer or on Dandy. And getting the kills on them obviously is very, very important. So if we quickly look at net worth, Klinks is just almost doubling. He is actually doubling some of these guys' net worth, and right now Navi just has nothing at this point here. My question is, how will they concoct a comeback? Because if you expect a comeback, it's always, you know, you can never count Navi out. But they're having a tough time right now. I love the item choices here for Navi, though. Look at Lina picking up the Ghost Scepter, realizing that Klinks is going to be an issue, realizing that the right click of zombies is going to be an issue. I'm not even kidding when I say zombie DPS, because it's very, very respectable, especially when you dream coiled up, when you slow down. And of course here we do see a Ghost Scepter being picked up here on Light of Heaven as well. YOLO or Havos is going to, looks like, he's going to be popping that Ghost and going to try to TP out, but he can't TP and Ghost at the same time. But that gave him enough survivability to make it out alive. Obviously, Lifesteal is going to be going for a very standard armlet, so he should be fine. So yeah, my camera is going to be going on Klinks in these particular rolling ganking. He also has a clay or Crystallis at this point here, so he will be able to deward as he walks all over the map and really pick off just about anybody. At this point here, Navi's, if you don't have a Shadow Blade or Ghost Scepter, you just have to hold hand with somebody else, because you will just be picked off if you're traversing by yourself. Scando firing orb up on the high ground here to provide a little bit of sight here to try to see if there's a ward. And if there was one, Summertime would have picked that one off, and he's going to see this one when we'll be picking off that one as well. So at this point here, Empire has total map control. Is he not picking up that one? Okay, he doesn't want to break this. So yeah, at Empire at this point here have total map control. You can see that they're farming in the enemy jungle. Meanwhile, Navi says, alright, since we can't do anything by ourselves, we're gonna just go for a little bit of 5-man Dota. Smoked up supports here behind, and I do believe that Empire is gonna take down this tower first. No, Navi does have that glyph, meanwhile Empire does not. They use it on the top tower deny early on, and trading a tower at this point does favor Navi. Navi can't take a 5v5 fight heads on, but the fact that they could get equal property is pretty good in my opinion. Obviously, I do believe the mid tower is a lot more important than the bot tower, but you know, a tower for a tower is not a bad trade at this point here. So Navi's still, you know, clawing their way back, but it's still going to be an uphill climb. It's 5,000 gold lead for the Radiant in terms of EXP, slightly less here. Navi actually not not as badly off as I imagined. The support fairly farmed as well. Puppy, Gold Scepter already have gold to buy another big item, whether it's going to be a drums, whether it's going to be something like working towards a 4-step. It looks like we're going to see a big smoke gang coming the way. Blower Brain is not part of that smoke gang, and if you're Navi, you should actually expect this smoke gang to be coming in here. And SS charging in. SS is not the person that should be charging in right now, and perhaps it's going to try to bait Dandy. Scandal's going to find Dandy, and Dandy's going to try to TP out, and looks like nobody's going to stop him. Great LSA to save the life of Dandy. Puppy again throwing his life away to make sure that Dandy is alive, and you know, no shame in doing that. Unfortunately, Puppy's gonna die one more time. Let's check out Puppy's score. 0-3-3, pretty good, pretty good. Despite the fact that, you know, your team is losing exterior towers back and forth, but that actual gank was not exactly the worst exchange for Navi, considering that Empire did use a lot of time doing that smoke gang. And meanwhile, we did see Prophet pushing up on top, getting a lot more farm. And then now, after you push the Equilibrium on the top lane, they could secure the farm in their own jungle for a little bit longer. Havos is going to be farming for his next admin choice. I'm not sure what do you actually go here. Obviously, Phase Drums is a very, very popular build, but considering that he went Treads Armlet, I don't think you go back for the drums here. Maybe you're gonna go for a little bit more late game oriented item, such as a Sulkers or maybe even a Heart. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not exactly a Lifestealer player myself. I wonder what do you actually get, because you know, Bane Elemental makes your life difficult. If you're gonna go for raw DPS item, you know, the Enfeeble gonna make you lows, and if you're gonna go for, you know, it doesn't matter what item you go for, because Finn's Grip is going to lock you down as well. So maybe you go for Basher. I'm not sure. We'll see what Havos is going to end up doing. Both teams just looking for farm here and there. Summertime is not roaming the map as aggressively as I imagine he would be. Perhaps a little bit afraid of losing map control, or afraid of the fact that they have lost map control, and really can't really travel by himself, at least in this point in the game. But he's gonna try right now, and the question is, do these guys have detection? They just ran past this particular ward, and I do believe Puppy is gonna be in big trouble. He does have that Gold Scepter, we'll pop it immediately. The question is, oh, nice LSA, it's gonna be TPing out. Puppy will make it out alive. No, the damage and the last tick of the Orchid silence. Orchid does do a big burst of damage at the end of the silence. Wait, the silence ended, so it was just the last hit of the arrow. Wow, close here. And Summertime is going to get the kill, and immediately they're going to be poofed into the Roshan pit, utilizing the fact that they did have the advantage, and Summertime is going to do all sorts of damage to the Roshan. The one thing that Navi can be a little bit more happy about, despite how the game is going right now, is the fact that they do have better late game. And Gold Black's taking a lot of damage right now, and the Radiant, or the Dark Team could be coming in. Arzar is going to be dropping Ice Path. Yeah, Summertime is not exactly, or Clinks is not exactly the best late game carry hero. I mean, he does a lot of damage, but if you stun him and he's very, very frail, you could able to, you know, burst him down, and then you could win a team fight like that. Oh, gem? Okay, I was gonna say, you're not gonna leave a gem behind here. Clinks does have the Black King bar, and look at this damage. Look at this item. It is just so damn impressive. But yeah, let's go back to Navi's late game here. As Lifestealer is a decent late game. I talked about how Prophet could be a very, very powerful late game, as well as Dandy is Gyrocopter. So they have, you know, 3 or 4 semi carries that could do some work, and of course Twin Dragon as well as Lina is not exactly the worst late game supports you could have. So in that instance, they're not too bad, you know, trying to take this game late. I mean, what choice does Navi have at this point in the game? They can't really win a 5v5 engagement, at least not against the Tombstone as well as the Dreamcoil combo in this particular instance. So, you know, with that in mind, they got to be very, very careful. Ooh, they will see Clinks, or assuming they will see Lifestealer, and Lifestealer is going to be going for Heaven's Halberd. Very, very interesting. I think, well, he's going to try to, yeah, they're going to try to go for the kill right now. Illuminate's going to get channeled. They're going to be gripping from low ground to high ground. Oh, the Force App's going to be missed, but he's going to run right in here, and let's see, where's the sight? Where's the sight? There's the grip. Oh, no. Volts thought he was fine running into this tree, and little did he know that a very cleverly laid trap was waiting for him, and another kill goes in the favor of Team Empire. Now, with that said, the Radiant's late game is not too shabby. I talked about how there is only one semi carry, or one late game carry for Empire, but Bane Elemental is a very, very powerful late game support, considering that he could shut down enemy carries very, very easily. You have some nice combos, such as the Dream Coil into the Blind combo, giving them an 80% mischance, but more importantly, stunning them out. You know, breaking that coil with the pushback of Blind and then getting a tier 3 second stun from top of that. So yeah, there's a lot of Q combos here and there. It looks like lightofheaven's gonna get picked off as well with the help of Blow Your Brain by Summertime. So very good ganks being concocted by the Radiant team, and I do believe they're gonna get yet another tower. This Navi just really on the ropes at this point here. That goal difference is just spreading out more and more. The EXP difference is larger and larger, and I do believe that trend is gonna continue to go that way as Empire is gonna go for yet another tower. They already have the Roshan advantage as well, and if you're watching this game, you gotta just think, when is Team Empire gonna start threatening that high ground? Now, threatening high ground is gonna be very difficult against the Nature's Prophet, considering that Wrath from Nature as well as his split push ability is very impressive. But you do have Dreamcoil, you do have Tombstone, and of course you do have the Aegis Immortal on Bone Clinks as well. So we're gonna see this push happening sooner or later, especially with the 10-second BKB available on Summertime. And the question is, when do you do it? And I think the answer more so is when do they have the chance to do it? Because look at this annoying split push, constantly making sure that there is always a wave pushing towards the Empire base. And when that's happening, Empire's going to have a very tough time. I mean, sure, you could try to drive a push on the mid-top lane or something like that, but if you take too long, Prophet could TP and start trading Raxus with you, and that's not a war you want to get into with the Nature's Prophet. But Puck picking up a Scythe of Vice. We're 30 minutes in. He has Power Treads, Blink Dagger, and Scythe of Vice already finished, so this is a very dangerous Puck. And remember what I said earlier in the game, man. Scandal has one of the best Pucks in the world. Don't really underestimate Scandal's Puck in any stage of the game. 5-man Ancient jungling here. I'm not too sure how much pulling Navi did. I don't think they did too much. One thing I've noticed here about some of the more like North American teams, such as Team Dignitas or Liquid or Empire, is that they, or not Empire, or No Hunter, for example, is that they're always very on tune in terms of stacking Ancients, non-stop Ancient stacks. Whereas Navi, they're not really doing that much, and Empire, not doing too much of that either. I think they're really more team-oriented in terms of finding those ganks. Meanwhile, the American teams that I mentioned earlier on, a little bit more prone in terms of farming and getting a very decisive item and then going for a big push. In which case, the Ancient stacks are a little bit more important. But I feel that it's like you're missing value in that sense. You're missing opportunity in that sense, especially when the Dire team has Gyrocopter, who could easily blow down that Ancient stack very easily. Team Empire is still struggling to that push. You can see that Dandy is just going to stay very far away from this place, and you're just going to be using that split push ability. You're even using that Rocket Barrage and mow down the Screwy very quickly. And basically Dandy's saying, well, Empire, I see you're on our top lane, but your base is getting pushed. So a Puck is going to be able to defend. The cool thing about Empire's lineup is that they do have SS, and SS will be able to recall Puck back just like that, so he will be able to defend. It looks like Tombstone's really out of position. Blink Dagger coming in right now. They want to focus on Dandy, but they just don't have the support fire. You can see a really applying that stun, but that's it. The Dream Core is used up, the Tombstone is down, and I do believe with that, of course, the Scythe of Vice is also down. I do believe that with that, Navi has defended at least for one more minute. I don't imagine that Empire is going to try to push without those two spells. It looks like they're going to be trying it anyway. Keeper Light has a Talisman Evasion. I guess he's going to be going for the Heaven's Halberd as well. This is something I have not seen ever. I imagine that Light of Heaven is going to be going for Heaven's Halberd as well. Looks like they're going to try to blow down this tower. Bowler Brain assisting his teammates. Going to get that tower very easily. At this point here, you can see that Dream Core is going to be coming back in a couple more seconds, and SS might be a little bit... Oh, he's going to get Force Staff back out here with the help of his teammates, and Summertime pops his BKB. Unfortunately, Ghost Scepter on all of these supports will be able to make sure that they're alive, and they're going to try to turn that BKB in a little bit of right-click on the tower, but they would not be able to do so. Uh-oh, Golblack in huge trouble. Golblack gets Force Staff in, and that Tombstone going to get dropped down. I do believe Navi is going to defend. Looks like Puppy's going to get the kill here, and Dandy pops his BKB. He's on the chase as well. He sees SS. SS is going to be the most easiest hero to kill, and looks like the Hex is going to be going on Havos, but I don't think they can get the kill. Bloodbrain walks into Ice Path, and Bloodbrain is going to get his flame blown out right there. He is dead. Meanwhile, though, another Ghost Scepter after activation here. We do see Summertime trying to right-click his way out of 3 or 4 hero. He's going to kill Dandy. Meanwhile, Puck comes in right now. He sees Lina. Lina's dead. The gem is on the ground here. Light of Heaven, pick up the gem so you get the sight. He sees Light of Heaven teleporting out, but Light of Heaven teleports literally 2 feet away. Meanwhile, Puck here is on the chase here against Arzar. Huge Illuminate's not gonna hit, and Arzar is gonna go down as well. 3-2 exchange. The question is who's buying back, and that is the Lifestealer. But Lifestealer gets Hex up here as well. He's earning himself up the Force Staff, cooling down just a couple of seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's gonna have the Force, so he should be fine. And looks like he is forcing. There's Force Staff right now, and Havos is still on the chase. And look at that Infest! Huge Infest kill here, bro. Havos is not gonna get the Scandal kill. Well, will he though? Looks like lightofheaven has teleport in, but not able to get that chase. He should be using that Midas. Yeah, there's a Midas here. And notice how he Midas the small creep. At this point here, he doesn't care about the EXP anymore. He cares more about the goal. So minusing the small creep will give you overall more goal intake as you clear out the entire camp. Did I see Blink Dagger picked up? Yes. Looks like Navi just picked up a Blink on their support as well. Man, the support backline here of Navi is just doing a lot of work. Arzart has the Gold Scepter. Of course, Puppy has a Gold Scepter. lightofheaven has a Gold Scepter. And everybody is just getting absurdly tanky. And it seems like Empire is just getting very antsy. I don't like their positioning of their Undying. They're really just, getting very anxious in terms of putting that Tombstone and using that Dream Coil, and they're just not getting the best usage. And it looks like Gold Black got picked off here by the help of a Blink LSA as well as a Laguna Blade combo. And it looks like with all these kills being picked up by Navi, they're coming back. They're only down by 6 kills, and you can see the goal chart is starting to dip down here. And really defending that tower on the top lane is a huge thing. Obviously, defending a Rex is always a big deal, but more importantly, they have used that time to push a Creequilibrium all in every single lane to the enemy side. And remember the push that Empire was trying to do early on, like the one that they tried to do like 5-10 minutes ago. Remember what I said about how difficult it was for them to actually push across. Now they're gonna have to do that in terms of every single lane. Now again, you do have the Keeper of Light, and that's gonna allow you to TP somebody in as you're trying to push every single lane, and that's gonna be really helpful. But also, you gotta keep in mind that there's a couple of Shadow Blade on the enemy side, and there's a Nature's Prophet. Whenever you have Shadow Blade, and as well as global map dominance through the teleport, it's gonna have a very tough time for Empire to push out, and they're gonna try to utilize smoke gangs. And let me tell you, Navi is fully expecting a smoke gang, but we'll see if that smoke gang is going to be successful. Also, we saw the Nature's Prophet being able to pick up a Scythe of Vice as well, and that's going to give him a lot of killing power, especially against that Clinks, especially when the Clinks' BKB charge is getting lower and lower. So gotta be careful. If your team Empire, they had a very big lead early on, but the window of opportunity is closing. A big double damage rune is going to get picked up here. Roshan is going to be back in just a couple of seconds, so they could use that DD for the Roshan. And how questionable it actually is when you see, hey, the creep wave is pushing towards the enemy side and there's nobody on the map. I imagine Navi is going to realize that the Roshan is back up, or excuse me, the enemy team is smoked up, and obviously they do realize the Roshan is back up as well. The question is, when are they going to go for the Roshan? Double damage rune is running out very soon. They're going to charge right, and the question is, who's actually going to tank this? Roshan's going to do a lot of physical damage. Looks like they're going to go straight for it. Empire, I do imagine he's going to be tanking it. He's critting for that 1000 damage with the help of the double damage. And if we could get this Aegis, that's going to be a big win. The question is, how many lucky bash Roshan's going to be having? No bash? No bash. They're going to get the kill. Heaven's Harbor is going to get picked up here by the Lifestealer. And normally, I'm not a big fan of Heaven's Halberd on Lifestealer, but in this particular game, I think it's a very great choice. Sure, BKB counters Heaven Halberd in that instance, but that BKB is, getting down to 8 seconds, 7 seconds. And when you're trying to use a single BKB to deal with both Heaven's Halberd as well as the Scythe of Vice, that Bone Killings is going to have huge troubles. So I think overall is a very smart item choice. And of course, the evasion is very much so welcome against the click power of that Killings. But with that said, though, there is the Aegis Immortal, and it looks like Empire is going to secure this free tier 2 on the spotlight. And the question is, where are they going to push next? Obviously, if they really want to push, they should be getting the top tower for sure. Meanwhile, it looks like we're going to see a gank attempt here. Nyx Infest Bomb here against Blow Your Brain. Scythe of Vice going on Blow Your Brain, and he's going to force staff out. Double teleportation comes in right now. Scando could blink here, and there's a silent stream call onto 2. There's a Fiend's Grip right on Lifestealer, and they're going to get him for sure. There's a Scythe of Vice here on the Light of Heaven as well. They went for the gank, but the respawn time was simply way too quick. Summertime gets picked off, though. He does have the Aegis Mortal, but he did not pop the BKB. Meanwhile, Dendy popped his BKB. BKB. Glow Black does have a Ghost Scepter of his own. It looks like the BKB gets popped immediately. I'm not too sure why. Maybe not exactly the best usage of that BKB. I'm not too sure whether he bought back. I don't think he did. No, he did not here. But he's going to be on the run. They have a gem, so they do know him. Where is he? Cypher Vice? Cypher Vice cooldown in just a couple of seconds. Light of Heaven thinks he's safe, but really he's not. Oh, one more Scythe. There's a Silence. There's a Hex. There's going to be a Blink Hex on him, and he should be dead. Light of Heaven gets picked off, but he does have the buyback, so no big deal. Well, it is a pretty big deal, but, you know, they're not losing the game right here and there. Meanwhile, though, SS not really with this team, so he's going to try to push out the mid lane. The lucky break here for Navi is that the team fight really developed on this particular map. Area of the map, and even though Empire won that team fight, they really have a long way to go in terms of pushing these creep wave and the Raxus and such. Navi could wait, and I do believe Light of Heaven won't need to buy out from that, and that's going to save him quite a bit of gold. Light of Heaven's going to come back with whatever item he wants to go for, whether it's going to go for MKB, whether he wants to go for crits or Mansau, Maelstrom. I mean, the world's Nature's Prophet Oyster at this point here. Dandy doing a very, very fine job split pushing as he goes. He's going to be picking up a Ghost Scepter as well. Man, this game, look at everybody picking up Ghost Scepter. Just a lot of respect. A lot of respect for Summertime or for Bone Clinks and what he can do with just, you know, this is not exactly the biggest set of items in the late game situation, but forcing everybody to get Ghost Scepter. And if you're Clinks, right, who do you actually focus at this point? Who can you focus? You pop your BKB and you try to focus somebody. Everybody pops their Ghost Scepter. By the time that Ghost Scepter ends, you know, your BKB is over and you're dealing with Cypher Vice, you're dealing with Heaven's Halberg, you're dealing with stuns. So at this point here, I gotta say Navi is actually looking pretty good. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win this game, because obviously if they lose one more team fight, they're gonna lose perhaps even double Raxus. But they're putting themselves in a winning position. They're putting themselves in a position that they could win steal a game, if you will, from Empire. They're playing to their outs, if you will. Empire's gonna try to push down on this tower on the top, and we're gonna see more global recall. And Puck's gonna come right back here. They're gonna start working on this tower. Where is Summertime? Summertime did eat the creep up to 2300 in terms of the HP. You can see SS really far up here. He does have a Heaven's Halberg of his own. It looks like the Cypher Vice has already been used. Summertime's going to be going to the right click here. Ghost Scepter's going to get popped. Where's the Ghost? Where's the Ghost? He's right clicking. It looks like they did kill Dendy. Dendy, does he have buyback? Yes, he does. They did get the Rax as well, though, and I do believe that's all Empire wants. They should be backing off right now. Summertime has to use that Aegis Immortal right now, and you gotta really stick next to the carry. No, the Aegis has already been used. Oh, that's right, it was used on the bot lane, and I do believe SS is gonna be going down as well. One person has teleport. SS really don't care if he's gonna be dead. I imagine he has buyout gold. He does, and of course he's so tanky with things like Heaven's Halberg, with Force Staff, and I do believe he should be able to outrun this rocket. Oh no, Navi gets stunned! No, he is gonna get stunned, and SS is gonna be fine, or SS is gonna be dead, excuse me. And that's, I'm not too sure how that team fight went in terms of who won it. Obviously, they got the Rax, although they did lose a gem. But more importantly, the thing is, the Rax is not really a big deal at this point here, especially when you have Nature's Prophet, when you have Flat Cannon, especially when you have Life Sealer. That Rax, the big wave of creeps, means literal nothing. All this means is that the next push for Team Empire is going to be a little bit easier in terms of securing the creep equilibrium, which is pretty big. With that said, though, they did kill Clinks, they did kill Light of Heaven, or excuse me, they did kill Keeper of Light. I keep mixing Keeper of Light and Light of Heaven because they both have light in their name. So, next thing you know, I'll be calling them one of them Kira, so we don't even know what's going to be happening. In any case, yeah, that Rax push, although Empire went the way, I did not like the fact that they overstayed their welcome. Perhaps they're trying to get the range Rax, perhaps Clinks was just a little bit too deep, and they lost, you know, a little bit more than I think they should have lost. But again, Navi, not exactly in the worst position in the world. They're definitely down, though, but they're not out. And the next Roshan is going to be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. And you can see that Navi right now doing a very good job pushing out the creep equilibrium. It's going to be very key to check out more item purchases. And it looks like we're going to see a Monkey King bar, which normally is a huge, you know, damage source. And it's going to be nice against Heaven's Halberg on Life Sealer. The thing is, there are 4 Ghost Scepters. There are 4, or is it 4? Yeah, there's 4 Ghost Scepters on the Navi team. And MKB is just a big lot of do nothing against a Ghost Scepter unit. I mean, as awkward item suggestion as it is, I might even suggest a Diffusal Blade, because you could actually purge off the Ghost Scepter and go to work. again, it's a very corner case scenario. It's very, very awkward, but, you know, against Ghost Scepter, what are you going to do? Shiva's Guard going to get picked up after Cypher Vice Scandal. Absolutely filthy rich. Blow Your Brain's going to have Mech Force Staff Blink. Look at this item. He's going to be going for Cypher Vice as well. Meanwhile, Summertime, we already talked about his items. And look at, of course, SS. Perhaps even going for a Vanguard, but more, probably more likely it's going to be going for a Rod of Atos. Meanwhile, on the dire side, we're going to see a Mantis style. It's going to be more debuff action against any buff that the Radiant team's going to be dropping. A little bit of a mechanical interaction. Enfeeble does not get debuff by magical immunity or Manta Split. It's really, literally the herpes of buffs, because you're never going to get rid of that. I do apologize if that's not PG-13. In any case here, not too many item development, yeah, aside from Ghost Scepters and whatnot. So the Radiant team definitely leading in terms of gold as well as EXP. And, you know, the team, the gold chart is kind of going back and forth, but it's a slow uphill climb. So the Radiant team still doing fine. But this case, so you gotta start worrying though. I think Empire will not be satisfied until they get the second racks. Once you get the second racks, you're gonna be very, very happy. But before then, this game is still ongoing. Very, very deep warping drop. And the question is, do they still have the Gem of True Size? Yes, they do. Summertime has it on him, but looks like Arzard has one on him as well. So right now, I do believe one person on the Radiant team should TP back, probably the Puck or something, and then have have a SS TP in the back or something like that. Because you gotta be somewhat worried about the backdoor tempo of Navi. Looks like Summertime is gonna get siped up, and he's gonna get Force Staff back out, and that was a huge Force Staff because he would have took way too much damage and made that push a lot more difficult. But that Kree wave slowly getting work, and let's see if Light of Heaven, he does have the teleport scroll ready. If he's gonna TP right in here and start, you know, forcing the Radiant team to make a move. Dragon Slave's gonna be used here. Sun's gonna hit right on Summertime. Double 2-man LSA. Both teams just trading back and forth here, and SS might be in trouble. Force Staff is ready to go. Tombstone's gonna drop. Tombstone's gonna get blown up. It looks like gonna focus right on Lifestealer. Summertime's gonna try to right click him. Siano comes in right now. Did you get a kill right on Havol? Havol, does he have buyback? That's the question here. You're gonna focus on Arza, but Summertime's low. Summertime is gonna be down for the count. Puppy blinks in right now. Puppy wants a little bit more. Puppy gonna get the gem as well. He gets Nightmare. The buyback comes in from Clinks, but Clinks is going to get recall back. Huge play here from SS. They're going to continue with this push. Big call down here from Puppy, from Dendy, and as well as the Glyph. There's a gem on the ground. Both teams, a multitude of buyback being used, but the Radiant team very, very low in terms of HP. They do not have an Urn of Shadows. Excuse me, take that back. They do have Urn of Shadow. Who is it on? Am I blind? Am I going blind? I'm clicking. Oh, there. Okay, it's on the Light of Heaven. No, on Keeper of the Light. Excuse me. Scandal's gonna get focused. He's gonna get defensively Nightmare, and he's gonna be fine. Meanwhile, though, who's gonna be focusing on the rack? Summertime doing work. Right click on the rack. Summertime. He's right clicking. He does not have the straight bonus. Meanwhile, the Tombstone making more zombie. I do believe the second melee racks will be going down very, very soon. Yup, it's gonna go down for sure. The call down's gonna drop one more time. Dendy using his rocket barrage, using his right click will not be enough. Summertime cannot die right here. He has already used that buyback, and there's a huge blind pushing them back, and that should be it in terms of the tower push. Empire's gonna be blinking out. Right click. They're gonna get the stun on Blow Your Brain. And here comes Navi. Havos not gonna get the kill there, but yeah, big win here. I talked about how 1 racks doesn't mean much. 2 racks means a lot. And I do believe Navi is now on the ropes, and they're in huge trouble. So all Empire have to do is push all the way here and just go for a very, very clean racks. And also with 2 lanes of racks down, they could go for a very safe Roshan, which I believe they will be doing so right now. With that said, though, Empire did use his buyback, and if they could pick off Empire Summertime just one more time, it could be big. Looks like Light of Heaven's not gonna take that fight right there, despite the fact that he does have Cypher Vice as well as Manta style. Navi's gonna be trying their best to push out the Creequilibrium. Man, Creequilibrium is the name of the game. As this game is really about that. When you're having items like Double Shadow Blade and Nature's Prophet, that is really the name of the game here. They do find SS here. SS is going to be on the run. The Rocket's going to do a lot of damage, but he's going to heal up just fine. Meanwhile, though, it looks like Empire's going to go for a sneaky kill attempt. It looks like Nature's Prophet is going to really get the Blackstab kill, but meanwhile, though, We are going to have the Aegis and Cheese up on Summertime and as well Scandal respectively, and I do not believe Navi could really go for a 5v4 push, because it's not really 5v4, it's really 6v5 in the favor of Navi, or in the favor of Empire, excuse me. Creep check, although creep check doesn't matter too much here. The CS is very even between the life, or excuse me, the Bone Clinks as well as the Nature's Prophet. Meanwhile, the net worth though slightly here for Nature's Prophet, or slightly here for Clinks. I do apologize for miscalling all these names, as I felt like I'm getting a little bit rusty in terms of casting. For those of you guys don't know, casting, there is definitely a casting rust, if you will. The ability names, the ability to talk quickly and succinctly and enunciate everything correctly. That's always been a difficult factor for me, but my friend keeps telling me to slow down. He keeps saying that when I speak very, very quickly, I miscall a lot of ability names, which is true, but when there's so much action happening on the map, and when I see like Havos getting a Heaven's Halberg, I just get so excited, and when I get excited, I talk quickly, so I'm sorry guys. Meanwhile though, again, let's go back to the strategical portion of the cast. Again, Creep Equilibrium is where you want to see Creep Equilibrium very far down here, about a midway point, and then of course it's going to be up on top. But really the Creep Equilibrium of the bot lane is the most important thing, as Navi's gotta have to, or excuse me, the Empire's gotta have to make this huge push down, which they can do, I'm not sure why they're not doing it just yet here. Empire, very looking poised to take this particular game. Look at this Keeper of Light. This is the tankiest Keeper of Light I've ever seen in my life. Is it gonna get more item? It's on the courier. Just a smoke. Smoke's gonna be used here, and looks like, oh, blow your brain. A little bit entangled up with the enemy here, and he was not caught in that particular smoke. Meanwhile, Summertime still roaming around, looking for the kills, using Strafe here against the Ancients. 4,800 gold. I do believe the best use of his gold is gonna be a buyback and a re-TP back. Although with that said, he does have the Ageless Immortal, so he could be getting another big item. I don't dislike Butterfly here. I don't dislike something like Scotty. Scotty, the Ice Orb will also work with the Fire Orb, as no matter how, logically it doesn't work, and no matter what tells you about Orb sagging, yes, the two does work together. And that will give him a lot more EXP, or a lot more HP, excuse me. It looks like we're going to see Navi doing a 5-man push up top. Again, more importantly, making sure that Creep Equilibrium is very far down. I do believe that the Empire team is going to go into the mid lane, going to take down the range racks, and really going to start rotating on the bot lane as well. Or maybe Empire time, Summertime is going to just take that range rack on the top lane. Looks like going to just go for some range racks. Meanwhile, MKB is going to get picked off here. Empire is going to really go in for 2 range racks. I'm not too sure whether that's the best choice here. Summertime's going for the right clicker, drawing out Gold Scepter. Look at the huge crit here. Puppy barely survived, but he does have the ghost here in Summertime. He's going to be in big trouble. BKB is going to get worn out very soon. Aegis is going to be used as well. Scandal is going to get right click here. Scandal does have the cheese. User cheese Scandal. Scandal is going to go right back out, pops the cheese. But look at Summertime. Summertime's going to go down. Summertime has a buyback. Where's the recall here? The cooldown here for Keeper of Light Ultimate is going to be down, and they got double buyback. But they traded 2 buyback for 2 range racks. I gotta disagree with that push here. And it looks like Scandal's gonna get picked off as well. And Scandal does not have the buyback. And the question is, how will Navi respond to this opportunity? Are they gonna keep on farming? Or are they gonna all go on top lane here and decide to take a racks? At this point, again, the racks means very little. But they did draw a couple buyback. I think what the best move here for Navi is to keep on making sure the Creep Equilibrium is pushed, but more importantly, look for ganks. If you get a gank right now against Bone Clinks, and the fact that he does not have a buyback, you win the game right then and there. So right now, Smoke of the Sea has to be on supports of Navi, and I don't see one right now. Is it on the Courier? That's the question. Is it on Puppy? No, there's nothing. There's nothing for Navi, and I gotta say, what is their path of victory? I guess they're gonna just keep on pushing, which is not a bad way to go about it either. Just make sure the Creep Equilibrium is always on the enemy side. They're still waiting for Scandal. Scandal does not have buyback either. Nobody has buyback at this point here. Quickly buyback check. That's hero level. Buyback status. No. Yeah, there's a buyback on Light of Heaven, and there's a buyback on... God damn, he's not Light of Heaven. He's Keeper of the Light. There's a buyback on SS, and there's a buyback on the Zombie. But that's pretty much it. Man, I guess I could I guess I could freaking have anime names for every Dota hero, because let's see, Zombie, that makes me think of Sangareya. Keeper of Light, that makes me think of Death Note. A Fairy Dragon, that makes me think of Pokemon, I guess. Well, every hero makes me think of Pokemon. That's a cop-out. What's an anime that has a fairy or a dragon? Or better yet, a fairy dragon. Actually, there's not many animes about dragons, like literal dragons. So I skip. Anime about Nightmare or Bane. And Skeleton? You know what? I give up. I give up. Maybe viewers would let me know about that. But quickly, item check here. MKG gets picked up here by Light of Heaven. BKB and looks like Ethereal Blade gets the full upgrade here by Dendy. Hey, that's another way to actually interact with Summertime and make sure that he is not right-clicking. And looks like we are going to have a Scotty attempt here by Summertime. The support's just holding on to the Gold Scepter, and that's pretty much it. Looks like Plate Mail is going to get picked up here. Looks like he's going to go for Assault Curious. Not a bad item choice. And that's pretty much it for Navi. The Navi's item, the item decision is very on key. Their actual items are just not that impressive because they don't have gold to work with. They're really just making every bit of their hero movement and their individual skill count. Very rarely you see somebody gets picked off, much thanks to the Gold Scepter and whatnot. And more importantly, they're picking off individual hero. Big smoke gank here from deep in the enemy side of the map. You can see Light of Heaven's really staying far back because he could still join his team with the TP back in, and they are just looking for a kill. You gotta keep in mind that Bone Clink's buyback does not have buyback right now. He's going for a Lincoln Sphere. Ooh, this is something we don't see too often. Makes me think of Pinoy Dota, Lincoln's BKB. You gotta lead a lot of lockdown spells, so make sure that he's not right-clicking. And the question is, will you be able to find him right now? They're so close to each other. They see Summertime. Summertime gotta pop that BKB. Gets forced that back out, but he runs into Ice Bath, and he's losing HP big time here. He pops the BKB, but he's lost a lot of HP. He's right-clicking Life Stealer, but Life Stealer does not care. Summertime's on the run. He gets shotgun. He gets healed up. He runs into another Ice Bath. Summertime's gonna be dead. He does not have the buyback. It looks like Bane Elemental's dead as well. Puppy doing a lot of right-click damage. Sango's dead. Scandal also doesn't have buyback. A huge smoke gank in the enemy jungle. These two wards, the MVP of all wards here, because they did see the Summertime run pass, and because of that, Light of Heaven did be able to TP in with the Cypher Vice, and they were able to really go for a 4-for-nothing kill here. And Navi, out of nowhere, just gets a huge Rex, and I do believe they could go for whether it's a Mega Creep, they could go for the Throne as well. The comeback of all comebacks, Navi's gonna bait out a buyback at the very least, and bait out that Glyph as well. And the question is if Navi's gonna go all the way. I think they should, because again, 50 second without clinks, 50 second without the puck, and they are gonna go all the way here. They see the range racks or the mid racks on the mid lane, and they're gonna just go for it. Meanwhile, though, you can see that Go Black is trying his best. SS trying his best, but SS gets scythed up, and look at the damage output here. Shotgun, where's the LSA? Puppy, oh no, that's Shotgun. Probably not the best. LSA is gonna miss as well. Puppy out of mana at this point here. He's gonna get stunned up here by the Mana League. Right click, right click, right click, going on the racks. But Pup Dendy, where are you going? He's not going for it right now. Really, they're gonna just use Light of Heaven and try to go win the game like that. Look at Dendy's damage output here. Flat Cannon doing all sorts of work. Blow Your Blade is gonna come right back. He does not have the grip here. Call Down's gonna come down. He's gonna apply that very key slow force sap up here for Blow Your Blade. Another force sap. They see Dendy. Dendy's gonna get Nightmare. Yes, they are gonna get Dendy. Dendy, though, he does have the buyback, so really no big deal. Dendy is gonna have to. I don't think he even needs to buy back there, but that was a huge pick off. The key of realizing when your enemy has buyback, whether it's buyback time or buyback goal, and really forcing a fight when they don't have a buyback, getting that huge pick off. And remember, the 4 guys walked here, smoked up, they planted wards here, and they were able to see everybody and blink in here. Or it seems to me teleport in with the Cypher Vice. You gotta keep in mind, he also had a Lincoln Sphere. That was his get out of jail free card. Was not able to do much even with it. So a huge pick off for Navi. And suddenly, both teams is even in terms of the racks. But the thing is, Navi has better global mobility. They have better late game. And they have better survivability because they have 4 freaking Gold Scepter against Mr. Summertime. Oh no, Empire perhaps, and look at the kill score is completely even up. The gold chart is swinging down to 2,000. this game is really looking a lot closer now. You still don't know who's gonna win the game, because at this point here you can see that Dendi has used his buyback. So in a very similar situation, if he gets picked off, he is dead. Well, Navi's gonna be fighting 5v4, but everybody else on the Navi team does have the buyback, I imagine. Buyback status. Buyback ready, buyback ready, buyback ready. Yep, the Radiant or the Navi team, they've seen it all. Big smoke gang into the base. They want to go for the throne, and let's see if it's gonna be enough. They can focus on Arzard, but no, Summertime's getting all sorts of damage on him. Summertime is gonna be dead. Meanwhile, the Goblak gets 1 kill, and looks like SS is gonna go down immediately. And I do believe that's it for Empire. They're trying to go for this big kill, but losing way too many heroes in doing so. Goblak's gonna go Scepter up. Goblak's gonna try to survive as long as possible. It's not gonna be enough. Anybody doing a backdoor attempt? Nobody doing a backdoor attempt. Scandal is gonna be the only person alive. Empire really went for a huge backdoor attempt, and I gotta say it's not a bad attempt, because they realized, or maybe was the glyph down? I don't think the glyph was down. It was only cooldown for 30 seconds. 3D max something. Dendi, realizing how epic this game is, starting to all chat it up, and Empire has got to hold down the fort against the entire team. I simply don't think, as good as Scandal is, I don't think he could do that. And Navi about to win this game, a game they were down just 5-digit goal count at a certain point, and they're gonna make a huge comeback off a single smoking. Navi just making it work, the throne losing HP. The GG gets called by Team Empire, and Navi will be victorious in this particular change. My god, this game is just too exciting. Navi pulls it out. 59 minutes of grindfest. GG, well played gets called. Navi takes this one home in the Star Series number 5. Woo! Everybody playing very, very splendidly. I hope you enjoyed this cast. And then that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this is Luminous signing off. GG, guys.